Hey everybody, what's going on? So the first thing I want to do is talk to you about a lot of the questions and things that I've gotten in my comments from my RV. First off, I want to say thank you very much everybody for watching my video and liking my video. It's pretty humbling. You put a lot of work into something, and a lot of the comments and feedback coming back from it has been just absolutely wonderful. And it's cool to see what other people are building. So I really like people contacting me and telling me what they're building. Feel free again to grab my number, give me a call. If there's anything I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to. And hey, you never know, somebody wants one built, I may be able to help you out there as well. So if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate, contact me. So I guess the first thing that I want to talk to people about is what the actual truck again is. Some people didn't catch that in the first one. So this is a 2001 Freightliner M2 business class. But they're called what is called, if you're searching for one, you want to look for an expedite truck. So a lot of people are saying, well, I haven't been able to find one, or I'm looking for one, where can you get it? So you'll want to look for what is called an expedite truck. A lot of FedEx and companies like that use these trucks, but there's sort of two different sides. There's your heavy duty that's over your 5-ton twin axles. You want to stay away from those because, again, the other question I was getting is, can you use your normal license with this? Yes, you can. All I have with mine is, I'm Canadian, as you can see by the snow. Ours is, all I use is my normal G license. The only extra that I have to have is my Z license endorsement, because it does have the air brakes and air ride and so on, which is a pretty basic course. And in Canada, they allow us to take either one for for transports, or they have another one that you can take that is just strictly air ride for RVs. So I just took the one for the RVs, fairly basic. Do your homework, it doesn't take that much, and go in and write the test, and you've got your Z endorsement. So if you do get pulled over, as long as you have the Z, there's nothing you do, as long as you've converted your truck and you've registered as an RV. So what I had to do there, so people can know, is I had to go out, and you have to hit certain criteria. So you have to have a toilet, you have to have a sink, you have to have a walkthrough per se. Sometimes you don't have to have that. So look into the regulations of what you need for your state to convert a truck from a normal truck over to an RV. And if you can see on the front, my plates are just normal automotive car plates. So I think that's a lot of the reason why I don't get pulled over. They see those plates, they know it's a converted RV, because it doesn't have the registered truck plates or the commercial plates onto it. So again, if you're looking at doing one of these, again, I can't stress how great and fun the project is, but it is a lot of work. But look into those laws in your state. But I'm pretty sure that they follow across the board, as long as you convert it over to an RV and register as an RV. So if you look at my ownership, it does say fully registered RV. Now, the other question that a lot of people have asked is, did the $60,000 include the truck? Yes, it did. So I want to be very clear on that. Did I steal this truck? Absolutely. I'm not going to say you're going to find one of these for the price that I did. I really did luck out. When we were looking for a truck to move to the States and go down there, we were looking for a cube truck. I wasn't particularly looking for this truck, and we lucked out. We had a guy that put an ad up on the internet, was hurting. I didn't really know that, but he just had a picture of the front of the truck. That's all we saw. He had no other pictures. And because I saw the high rise, I knew that it had a bunk, and I knew that obviously must have had something behind it, but all it said was M2 Freightliner for sale. And I knew the Freightliners took over the Sterling, because I used to own a Sterling that we converted as well. So I wanted to jump into a Freightliner, to the newer model. So when I called him, I said, what's going on? He goes, I don't know why nobody's calling me. And I'm kind of going, well, I know why they're not, because you have no information, no pictures on this truck. But I said, I'll come up and take a look at it. When I got there, the gentleman talked to me. I looked at the truck, I was blown away, and he wanted a very low price for it. And the more he talked, it all became down to, he was needing money really bad from the government. And long story short, I stole this truck for $6,000 Canadian, and that's the God honest truth, like $4,500 US. and I jumped in the truck. I drove it home 2.5 hours, and I sent it in to have it certified safety. That's what we do in Canada. They go over the whole truck, make sure it's road legal, everything is done, blah, blah, blah. And all it needed was a brake drum on the back and a shoes. I think it cost me $500-600 to have the truck certified, ready to go. So yes, again, I lucked out. So I'm not going to say too much more about that, but it's been great. So what I want to do is go over quickly some of the comments you guys had. One, lack of windows, biggest thing. Again, I built this truck the way I wanted to build it. I could have put in windows. I didn't want them. Again, we're using this truck as a marketing truck. So we go to shows and events, and part of me was I want to have as much space on the side to do my graphics as you can see on the side, so it looks clear. The other side was I want it to be that shock factor. So when people say, oh, what are you hauling? It's like, no, it's an RV. No, it's not. And it becomes fun for people to open up that back door and walk in and go, I can't believe this is an RV. And we'll go a little bit more into that when we go inside, but we're going to sort of go down the truck. Again, what we did when we bought the truck, it didn't come like this. We did a lot of work to this truck, right from the visors. You can't buy those. We custom made that, my son and I. Made out of cardboard, then we had metal all bent, put in the lights, did all that because I wanted the front to look a little bit more aggressive. We did all the front lower valance on the front of the truck with all the lights and everything in it. You couldn't buy those, so it sort of just dressed up the front end a lot more. Adding a lot of the lights, switching everything to LEDs instead of having the old bulbs was a big thing, as well as running all the lights down the side. This truck even has Underglow. I'll show you a quick video of how that looks. Now, a lot of people were saying, what happens if you get in an accident and it flips over, because RVs, whatever. And if you actually look here, we have an RV here. If you notice, most RVs only have one door. So yeah, they might have an escape hatch out a window or something, but they only have one door. In the driver's compartment, you have to go out that door. With this truck, because we have a walkthrough, we have the normal driver's passenger side. So if we were to flip over, you can either get out that door or you can get out one of these doors. As well as I'll show you inside, which I didn't show you on the other video, we do have a vent. I guess in worst case scenario, we could possibly get out through the roof vent. But again, we have as well as side compartment doors that we could get out of, and on the other side there's a big bunk door on the other side that we can get out as well. So there's many ways to get out of this truck in case of an emergency. And when we're going down the road, we're not like in an RV where we could be throughout the whole RV. We're really driving in the 4 seats that are inside the cab of the truck. So if anything was to happen, we're just coming out of the cab of the truck. And then in case of anything, in a fire or something, when we say we were going, we could either get out the side or we could come up through the front and get out the 2 front doors or out the hatches on the sides. The other thing people were asking me, where's the propane? Where are we putting the propane? So I didn't show that in the first video. I want to show here. Our propane and our propane tanks are right here on the side. It's great. We just use normal barbecue tanks so we can pick them up anywhere. And because we were only running our hot water tank and our hot water on demand, it's amazing. We went through one propane tank, I think took us 2.5 months to go through a propane tank, and that was 2 to 3 of us having showers every day. So it doesn't use a lot of propane when you're running the hot water. Now that we got the furnace in, yeah, we probably will run through more, but the nice thing is we can go anywhere and pick up and exchange for our propane at any Canadian Tire or any place, Walmart in the States, anywhere we want to go, we can exchange our propane, so we don't have to look for a propane fill up spot, which is really good for us. Now we shut this up, and so that is all self-contained. It's a separate box on the truck, so which is really nice. Explosion proof, so we don't have to worry about if something happens with the propane, it leaks, whatever. It doesn't go into the cab, it doesn't go into the truck, and it completely is separated from anything. So if something was to happen in that compartment, you're going to have some time to deal with it. It's not right with the vehicle or right in, like most RVs, they're right in the side or right inside, like in the compartments of the RV. Now again, going over again to our furnace system, I'll try to get Cody to come around here and look more at the hot water on demand system. give you a little bit closer look of how that is and how that works. A lot of people are asking about it. Again, I'll try to get the information put in the description if I can find it on Amazon for you, but absolute amazing system. And there's our pumps and our tanks, and if you can see up in here, it's our new furnace system that we put in. Now we're fully ducted and we can have heat anytime we want. So that was something that we didn't really go over. And again, the whole point of this video was, yes, about building an RV from a cube truck, but it's how you want to build it for you. Again, this truck, and I'll show you a couple of videos that we're going to put up, shows you what we're using this truck for. If this was something that my wife and I were going to use, and we were going to use it just strictly for camping and stuff, yes, there's some things we would do different. But because we built this for a business vehicle to be able to go to shows and events, and my kids are into drifting, so they use it for drifting. We set up the tents out front, put the cars, the kids are going in and out. It was designed more for 4 guys to go to an event and stay for the weekend and not have to get hotel rooms and enjoy the weekend. So that's why the bedding is set up the way it is. That's the way the truck flows the way it does. So again, if you come up in here, you will see, and if you look up here, we've already pulled out the couches for the winter, and we pulled out the TVs so they're protected. But this gives you an idea. There's a few things I didn't go over in here as well. So everybody's saying, oh, I can't believe you don't have a kitchen. Well, when we're stationary, we do have a microwave that we put up here. Our toasters come up here. We have a hot plate that we use. So if we need to cook, we do. But again, because we're doing this for events and shows, majority of the time we're going out for supper, or everybody's getting together and we're just out barbecuing with all the boys. So it's not something that we're, again, using. And I'm going to go over this. I designed this truck so if we do decide to change it, or we were to sell it to somebody who says, well, I wish that we had it, we can convert a little bit over to it. And my thoughts were taking the TV that was up here, yes, moving it to this wall so you're sitting on your couch, you can look at it. Right now it's on this wall because when we open up the back balcony, and I will show you this in the picture, this opens wide open, opens right up. And as well as you can see up here on the top, I'm not going to turn them on right now, but they're all LEDs that go to the music, go to the things, so it becomes more of a party atmosphere, and they can see the TV on the wall. So if we were to convert it and say we were to use this as more of a family rig, the couch does go down into a full bed, so 2 people can sleep on the couch, goes into a full queen size type bed. The balcony goes out, and we do have a full screen in area for that. So when we go set up, we drop open the balcony. We don't actually shut it again. It's fully enclosed with, so we don't have to shut the doors as long as it's nice weather out. So that becomes our light, that becomes our windows, that becomes everything. Sometimes it's almost too much. That's why we shut the curtains, because we want the privacy. But for windows in your living room, we don't really see it. And again, you have to remember, most RVs have about a 6.5-foot ceiling, maybe 7. We're 8-foot ceilings, so it looks really, really, really big in here. So you never feel claustrophobic inside this RV. Again, so we'll go back to this section here of the kitchen. If we were to redo the kitchen, what I would do, and I do agree, if we were to be here for any length of time and we were going to do it even regardless, pull the fridge out, take our end cabinet, we are going to move it over, get a full upright RV fridge, and then put our upper cabinets here with a built-in microwave, and then have our TV moved over to here. So it would be a very easy, simple thing to do by just lifting up the countertop, pulling out the fridge, and moving those few things around, putting an upper cabinet. And again, we've built everything so we could still plug in our fridge here. Our microwave could be plugged into here. So it would be very simple to add that. Again, it's all on what are you using your RV or your rig for. Again, going into the bathroom, and I will argue with anybody that argues with me about having the bathroom, oh, it's too big, it's too this. I'm sorry, most people that ever say that have never went RVing, never went for a long period of time. Because again, bedrooms, you go in there to sleep. That's it. Living room, you entertain. But the biggest thing is that we all take for granted, we don't think about it till it's time to do it, is going in, having a shower, getting cleaned up, and getting ready for the event or the day or whatever you're doing. And the bathrooms is where you always feel claustrophobic. In this bathroom, you don't. So let me just go over a few things in the bathroom. And before we go, I want to show all of our lights too are 110, and they are all on dimmers as well. So we can have really nice lighting at night and dim everything down or up. So again, this is all house stuff. So we run 110 volt through the whole thing, and we run off an inverter, and I'll show you that in a second. So when you come into the bathroom, again, we have a panel here. And if you look up here, you'll see we have a bolt up here that holds this panel and the trim on each side. I've made this and designed it so if we need to get furniture or anything through or out, we just pop out this screw and pull this panel out, and we can go straight through with our couches or our mattresses or anything that we need to get in and out of the rig. And this is a privacy barrier for somebody sitting on the toilet. If the door is open, you're not going to see them. Now we have up top, we didn't show this, we have a full fan system, vent system, and it is completely programmable. If it hits a certain temperature, it automatically opens, it shuts, and it has on the wall here a complete control system, so you don't have to go up there and try to crank it open or crank it down. You just push the buttons, and I'm not going to do it now because there's snow all over the roof, but you can control it completely. This button here is what controls our 12 volt pump system. So if we're not hooked up and we're just using our tanks underneath, push that button. Now we automatically have water to our sinks. 12 volt system, turn on the taps, flush the toilet, have a shower. There's our 12 volt pump on and off. Another thing is all this control system, everything comes through this wall. So all of our electricals running through this wall. And so our pocket door slides into this side, so we couldn't really put any of the stuff. So our vents through the roof for our holding tanks go up through this wall, and they go out through the roof, as well as all of our controls. And this is what I got at the wreckers as well, or sorry, everybody's correcting me on whether it's called a wreckers or a salvage yard or whatever you want to call it. We picked up this control panel and wired it in so we know what our batteries are like, our water for our gray water, or sorry, our fresh water, and then we have our gray water tank and our black water tank. Right now they're winterized and everything's ready because again, we're not going anywhere right now. Up top we have our more cabinets and stuff up here for us to pack a lot of stuff away. Great place to put this up out of the way. We didn't show you that in the video, as well as our 3-foot vanity, full house vanity with our tap system. And again, our brain here, as well as we can turn on our over cabinet lights as well, night light, and again, a little bit closer look at the full shower. And again, we have a complete full house shower in here. And again, it's to each his own. I never liked the whole fact of RVs that have a hallway that bypass it, because then you're eating up 2.5 to 3 feet of your space. So having this where you can have pocket doors and going into your bathroom, out your boiler, you get to utilize the 3.5 feet for getting ready or dressed or whatever. If somebody needs to get into the front, like I said, they're like, oh, well, nobody can get through. If they need to get in the bedroom, they can just go up through the cab of the truck and come into the bedroom. If somebody needs to go in the living room, they just go in the back door. So it doesn't hinder whether or not you're coming in or out. Now, as for the bedroom, again, we will show you here. Oops, sorry. When you see in the bedroom, we have full dresser. We have our under cabinets. Again, we put in our bed. Again, this truck was to be able to sleep 4 people. And we have our drop down bunk, which I'm not going to pull it down. I did that in our other video. If we were to turn this into my wife's and I getaway living all the time to go to parks and so on and so forth, yes, I would get rid of the upper bunk. I would get rid of the dresser. I would put all my cabinets all up and above. I'd put them onto this wall, maybe dropping down to 2 end tables And then I would turn the bed like a traditional RV with a queen size bed right here that you can go around and then go through. So this is what I want to explain, people. You are building it for the purpose of what you want to do. Again, do I need windows in the bathroom? No, because any RV that has windows in the bathroom are usually small, and they always have a text or something on because nobody wants to see in your bathroom. The other thing is, do I want them in the bedroom? We're only going to our bedroom to sleep, so I don't need windows, and it's actually preferable not having windows. But again, it all came down to what I wanted this RV to look like going down the road. I didn't want it looking like a traditional RV. I wanted it to be a marketing billboard, and people be more blown away when they walk in to say, I can't believe this is in here. So again, we'll go through the pop through here. And I'm sorry, but I don't think I have the lights turned on here for the front cabinet lights. I think our batteries, I've got them turned off right now, so it might be a little bit harder for you to see. But again, this is a bedroom, or it's our spot for us to be able to sit and relax. And we've got our TV out here because we didn't want it cold. And again, we can drive the rig and get out these two doors, as well as we do have an escape door as well here. So there's no problem with us getting out of this vehicle or getting out of the rig in case of an emergency. So I really want to show people a little bit more of, you know, our design and why we kind of did it this way. The cut through was basically, if we needed to go to the bathroom while we were on the road, we could get through. If we need to access it, we weren't having to stop the rig, get out, go to the back door and come in. So that's a lot of the reason why we did this cut through, and we didn't care that it was that big because we wanted to keep the upper bunk. We wanted to keep that bunk, so it gave us 3 beds here, and then the couch going into beds comfortably. 4 people have their own beds, and if you have a couple, they can take the couch that is actually 2 beds. So again, anything else that I can go over? Yes, so right here is a button here. So when we're running down the road or we're not hooked up to power, we have a 3,000 watt inverter underneath. We just push this button, turns on the inverter, so we're still running all of our 110 lights and everything on 110, besides what has to be run from 12 volt, which is always direct 12 volt. But again, it shows you what we have. So I don't know if there's too many more questions, but that was a lot of it. We hit a lot of it with the windows, a lot of it with the truck itself and the cost. I think that's pretty much it. Again, yes, we do have underneath, and I didn't show you that before, it was sort of in the one video, but we do have a 3,000 watt inverter. People have asked me about solar panels. Possibly I will do solar panels. I am considering that option. I have talked to a couple places, but we haven't needed them. So it's not something that we went, oh, we're setting up at these places that don't have power. And if we need it temporarily power, we have our 3,000 watt generator that we pull out if our batteries can't withstand the length of time that we're going to be sitting for. We do have the power, or the 3,000 watt Honda generator, the quiet generator that is underneath, and it works tremendous. So solar power is something that we really didn't need. So I hope this video kind of helps people understand what we were doing with our build. Again, everything is different. If we were to do it for different purposes, you're going to build it for your different purposes. I was trying to explain to people what it took to actually build one, and showing people that if you're just thinking you're throwing things together and you're not thinking ahead, because a lot of people have contacted me and said, oh, I should have done that, I should have done this. I was just hoping that this video might have said, oh, I never thought of that, or oh yeah, I didn't realize you should vent through the roof, or, you know, because your holding tanks and everything should vent. So how are you going to get those vents up? Where are you going to put those? Whether it's running into a fan. We have 8-foot ceilings. I didn't want to try to climb up and crank this thing up. Now I can, you know, bought one that we can control and push a button and it runs off the vents. And it has a rain setting, so if it gets rain, it automatically shuts, even if it senses rain coming down. It does literally everything. Again, the bathroom, myself, this is not something you guys have to do. If you don't feel a bathroom is important, then that's not it. But in all the rigs that I've built, all the campers that I've owned, I've always hated their bathrooms because I've always felt that it was an afterthought. It was always something they went, oh yeah, we need to put in a toilet and a shower, but they don't care that you get in there and you're scrunched in and you have no comfort. And again, make a big bedroom that you're not really using except for to sleep, where they could have made the bathroom so much nicer and more comfortable for when women are doing their makeup, or you're going to the bathroom, or you're having a shower and you want to get dressed and you want to have that openness. So again, I'll throw up a couple videos, show you guys exactly how the back opens, because I didn't really show you that. But again, when this back opens, it's wide open. It's completely wide open. You go step out on the balcony and everybody can look straight into the truck. So we have lots of light when we're at campsites. That's the first thing that we opened, and that's the first thing we put down. So we do have the lights, we do have the windows, we're not worried about that. And I have a frame system that gets set up and clips in, has a roof and all the screens. And maybe in another video, probably this summer or something, you'll see that actually on the rig, but I don't have one to show you right now. But I hope this answers some questions. I hope it really walked you through a little bit more of the little things that I wasn't showing. Another person asked me about the walls. They are 1/2-inch plywood, and then they have the paneling on top. So none of these have been painted. They're the way they came. They're glued and nailed, and then your trim pieces put on, and no more nails or PL Premium on all your trim pieces to cover the nails that we put in. So it was to keep it simple, that I wasn't having to paint, or I wasn't having to do anything like that. Maybe down the road we might have to repaint the white walls, because it's not a great white that they put on them. But right now it was great for when we went, and all the paneling that was inside, it gave us all of our decor kind of colors that we wanted, and not having to paint it or so on, or wallpaper, whatever you were to do with most conventional RVs. The other thing, a big thing too, this ceiling cost a lot of money. I didn't want your traditional screw on, nail on, almost like the walls, and then you can't access anything. This is really important. This roof I got at Home Depot, probably get it, maybe Lowe's has it. But it is really cool because it's like a drop ceiling, but it's solid MDF, so it's really solid and strong, so it's not going to fall down when you're driving down the road. But it clips down, and I'll see if I can find something here to pick it up. But the nice thing about this ceiling is if I need to access anything, I can literally just lift up these panels and run more cables, run more cords if there's anything I need to get from one end of the truck to the other, and I have full access to the whole roof. That was really, really important, and it looked a little bit nicer than your standard just stick down like these panels and put some trim pieces across it. I just think it looked a little bit more I don't know, high end than that, and it allowed us to put in our puck lights and put on all of our dimmers. And again, I think to me this was a really good money well spent, and I've already went up there about 3 or 4 times to run different things and access and re-insulate the ceiling. And if I would have done it the other way, the cheaper way, by just putting paneling across and screwing it up, I would never be able to access it again. And this way here, I can access it. So if we need to drop a plug or we need to put stuff in, I actually left when we were running cables up in that one wall that I showed you. I've left plugs up there and 110 plugs, so I can access and I can plug into them if I need more power for different areas. So I can always get up there and access and pull a plug and drop it down for a TV plug, or cabling if I want to get a different satellite system, or I have a dish system on top of the rig now. If I want to get a different one, I can still access all across and run all my cables, my HDMIs, any cables I want, I can run all through my ceiling. So that was the main reason why I did that. So I'm sure that could be importance to a lot of people wondering about that with a ceiling. Trying to always kind of have access, and if I want to change things, I want to redo the kitchen, and say we're done and we want to make this a little bit more of a full RV for us to go camping all the time, I can still access all that, change the kitchen, change the bedroom, and it doesn't take that much or really a lot of money to be able to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much again, everybody, for all your comments. It's been wonderful. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out, contact me. If I can help you any way, I have no problem doing that. Thank you very much.